All right. Oh, and hey, how's it going, everybody? I just randomly decided to stream today. So that's why it's a little bit of a impromptu stream. But yeah, I just decided to randomly stream. I was going to work on some projects. I didn't really have like any major goals or anything like that. So thought I'd just hop on here, do some streaming, have some co-working and whatnot. So yeah, that's largely what I'm going to do. Also, just a little bit of a status update on things. I have the rebinding thing saga that I had to put on hold is ready to be back on play. I don't know the words for that. But yeah, that is now figured out. I figured out all the stuff to be able to continue progressing on that. Hopefully we'll be working on that soon. I just didn't want to do that today because I'm more trying to do it more of like a low-key chill kind of thing. Working on the rebinding stuff there's a lot of complicated things that I've had to consider. So just want to go based off of the whims of the like tools and things I'm going to be working on. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing that, or I'm going to be working on random tools and things. I can dive into that in a little bit here, but yeah, I just wanted to give an update on there. There's a couple of things in the pipeline in terms of just stuff about the channel, some shorts and things. An update on the video that I kind of teased a little bit is it's like I've gone through trying to do this video like this video idea for a while, and then I've let it stew for a little bit because I wasn't entirely happy with how exactly it was turning out. And like, yeah, I'm still excited to do it, but there have been some like changes and things to said video that I wanted to do, and things like that. So that's why it's taking a while. Also, I've been really busy trying to do all this stuff. That's why I'm doing a lot more tools streams rather than just pure OmniGear streams, because I need to try and figure out ways in which I can mold all of these things that I'm all the plates that I'm spinning at once. But that's kind of how things are shaking out for now. But that's why I'm trying to figure out all that stuff. Anyway, what I am going to do now is I'm just gonna start working on some tools things. So as you can see, this is a completely blank scene. It's part of my tools project, but that's about it. Largely what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be looking into adding a debug console that I can bring from project to project, because that has been something that I've wanted to do for a while. It would be really useful to be able to have some type of debug console and be able to like print out errors or whatever. That's not just using like Unity's default like the developer build. That would be very, very useful in places where I can't really use the developer build. But also it would be nice to be able to have a console that I can put in like whatever cheats that I need in order to skip things or like add things or subtract it, do whatever the game cheats I need. All those things would be really nice to have. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And the other major thing that I want to do with this is have this be controller compatible, so that if I built this out to a console, like if I put this out on like an Xbox or something like that, I would still be able to access all these console commands and things using a controller. I wouldn't necessarily think that I would have full control, like the same amount, like level of control as I would on like a PC where I can just type anything that I want inside of a console command. But it is something where I'm like, yeah, I do want to be able to show all these like basic information, have it so that if I add a new I realize I'm really talking about this stuff. If I add a new like command or cheat or something like that to the console, be able to use be able to use a controller and be like, oh, okay, I want to do this XYZ thing and whatnot, and like select from like either a drop down or something like that to be able to do things. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. At least that's what I'm going to be starting to do today. I might switch gears after I get a little bit into doing it. I don't think that I'm going to like fully get all of the controller stuff in on all of that stuff in, largely because it's a fairly, it's like a medium-sized project in the grand scheme of things. But that's one of the things I wanted to try and do. So now that I've said that, now we can actually go in and look at all this stuff. So that's what, yeah. All right. And of course, I'm going to want to make it look decent, semi-decent, because I am me and I can't not do that apparently. But yeah, this is essentially, I want to be able to just drag and drop this inside of any project, and then I can hook into this using various other scripts or like methods and things to be able to do that. So let's try and think about this. All right, so I'm gonna make a new folder here. Gonna make a new folder, and I'm gonna call this, I guess, console, debug console. Yeah, console manager system. I'll say system. Sure. I'm really good at naming things. All right, so we'll go in here and then we'll add a new script. One of the things that I really want to do is like wrap all of these tools in their own namespaces so that it's just a little bit more organized. That would make a lot of sense for me to do that, but all right, so we're gonna make a console, like debug console, I guess, manager for now, and then we're gonna have a couple of others, probably interfaces that it's gonna invoke. Okay, so before I do this, let's go in and make the console so that I know what I am doing here. Okay, so this is going to live on its own canvas. It's not going to be integrated into, like, I'm not going to try and integrate it into some other canvas that's going on. Largely because I want to be able to just drag and drop this inside of a project, and then you just have it. That would be really nice. The caveat there is that there is going to be a couple of things that are like dependent on being in the project, at least the way in which I'm thinking about this stuff. And I really don't want that. I really want to have it so that it's not super dependent on like having certain things. Because like for example, like one of the things that I try to do with some of these tools is just like not introduce like the Odin inspector. I know that a lot of people love the Odin inspector. I think that it's really great and it's super convenient for a lot of things, but I know that not every project uses the Odin inspector that I have joined or like worked on. In fact, any of my personal projects, I don't actually use the Odin inspector because I've just been using, if I join a project, it tends to have it, but I just end up in saying like, yeah, I use this and I really do benefit from it and I use it. But I haven't needed to purchase it yet. It's one of those things where it's like, if I did, I probably would use it a lot, but it's not a necessary thing. So that's why it's one of those things where I'm like, I want to make sure that even in a situation where it's a game jam and we're not like trying to add in all of the different plugins and whatnot, that is one of the things. Rewired is one of those where I'm like, I want to have it so that it's compatible without it, but I don't think I will be able to do that with the controller specifically without it. I could do like, I can invoke the thing. I love how I'm just sitting here talking. I can invoke the thing sort of without it. There's a couple of caveats there and whatnot. So that's one of the things that I do think about. It's not like I don't have a like a thing where I can be like, oh, here's my chart of the reasons why these things work the way they are, or these things are set up the way that they are. It doesn't necessarily need to be like that. But yeah, that's one of those things that I'm trying to do. So one thing that I'm thinking about is, well, yeah, how is this gonna look? So you saw me adding this box up here because this is gonna be where the console will live. If you press the console button, the debug console button, then something like this will pop up. And essentially I want to show this stuff off. So show any of these like warnings or debug or logs and like any of that stuff, show that up here. 2, I want to have somewhere where you can insert or input just like debug things, insert stuff where it's like, oh yeah, here's the name of, you can do set money blah or something like that. So yeah, there I want to have that. I would love to have like some form of like an autocomplete or like something to be like, oh, that's what you're trying to type. That would be nice. If you're typing. And then the other thing is the controller compatibility part. So like you have some type of menu or list of things where you can be like, okay, here are things that I want to look at or use and stuff. The other thing that I'm also thinking about is if I wanted to track a specific like variable or something like that. Normally I just say debug.log and then put in the variable. I guess I normally say the name of the thing plus variable and whatnot. I'm wondering what happens if I try to do that not natively, but like made that really easy to do with this console thing, where I can just be like debug console dot track variable or something like that, or register variable or something. And then from there you would be able to, or it would just like have a drop down or like a list of all of the variables that are registered there and just show you the values of those. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know if I want to try and pull that off or not. So, I guess, yeah, one thing at a time. Let me actually write that down because that's not a thing that I have written down here. Variable tracking, I guess that's one. Cool. Anyway, let's do the easier, or I guess the more straightforward thing, which is just show the console log stuff. Like just show what the Unity console is showing. And I think I know how to do that. What I'm gonna do here is actually I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. And I'm going to, ooh, that's also one other thing that I kind of want to think about is, do I want to filter information? Man, there's a lot of ways in which you can make this work. But I'm not going to try and think about that too much. So I'm going to do this. All right. We're gonna, oh wait, before I do all of this stuff, I need to change the scale stuff. Be 1080, 19, oh wait, 1920 by 1080. I'm gonna scale with the height. Cool, let's go grab this, do that. All right, and then let's go grab this and do this. I don't know actually if here, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna give it a border. There. All right, and then, so yeah, this is a little bit big. I guess I want to be able to change the size of the font if I really want to. But for now, we're gonna give it a default font that's a little bit smaller. Yeah, 26 or 28. I'll do 28. Cool. And then I'm just gonna, let's go find lorem ipsum. Okay, and then I got all of this. All that stuff, for goodness sake. This is decent enough. I'll just copy, paste, 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 paste. Paste, 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 paste. Okay. Actually, ooh, I might, yeah, no, that's fine. All right. So one thing that I can do, because this is TextMesh Pro, is I can make this scroll without using a scroll view. I believe wrapping overflow scroll rect. So if I click play, okay, so I can't scroll the thing without, I know you can use pages. I've done, so I've used the pages thing here before. I've used truncate, I've used ellipses, done overflow, that's the default. Masking, I mean, I guess masking, I don't know actually. How does, no, I don't actually know how masking works. Linked I've also done, but that's not what I want. I want to do scroll rect. Is scroll rect, do you have to have this tied to an actual other scroll rect whatnot? I guess that would make sense. But yeah, I guess let's instead of trying to do it through here, I'll just do it the way that I normally do it. All right, go here, click UI, scroll view. We don't need the side to side stuff. I guess I'll do. There we go. Hide the horizontal one. Or by hide, I mean delete. Hide it. You cannot go horizontal. No. I'll make it clamped. Go here. Drag this in here. Have this layout. Content size footer preferred. Layout vertical, I guess. There we go. Cool, and yeah, it's doing the thing. All right, so I want to keep it with the look that I have been going for some of my other tools, like the main menu and stuff. So I'm gonna, or not main menu, the menu tools and stuff. So I'm gonna continue doing that. Get rid of this background. All right. Find that. Open this up. We're gonna just change this up. Okay, for now, I'm just gonna use these, and then when I am ready to drop this inside of a project, which will probably be the first project I put it in is OmniGear, but drop it inside of a project and be like, all right, let's see how this works, and I'll get a bunch of issues with the images and stuff. I already know, but I want to just get it in there first before I because that is the main thing that's going to be stopping me from doing this stuff. Though I guess at this point, if I'm going to be making a new one, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't need to be that large. We'll do 10. All right, got a viewport, or not the viewport, do it here. Have this be 30. And then have this be the issue is that I can't really see what the viewport is. Go with a mask? No, it's not. Also, I guess I don't really want this. I'll do. Yes, yeah. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna right. It's we'll do. I guess we'll do one of these, and then. What's the 4? There. Okay. We're gonna get rid of this. Go back to this generator. Oof, man, that's a. There we go. There. Good enough. Go here. Let me close that up. But yeah, okay, we got this stuff going. I think that is lining up. Yeah, that's lining up correct. I want some space on the other side here. I guess I want some space on all the sides. Okay. And I guess I'll put 20 just because. All right. Okay, I'll save this. Oh yeah, I don't have a scene. Let's do the examples or scenes. And this is Debug Console System. Sorry, let me readjust my mic here. All right, is it? Yeah, it's kind of blocking me here. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit clear. All right. So we got this going on. So now I'm going to go and click play. Cool. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that is more or less working. I mean, it's a little hard because everything is literally the exact same thing. But that I guess is kind of, well, it's not really the point, but that's fine. It's fine for now. Cool. I can do that. I'm wondering whether or not I want to add some padding to the top and bottom of this. Yeah, I think it probably could use some padding. I'll do the 20 here. Yeah, we'll just do 20 everywhere. Ooh, I don't actually know if I want to do padding on the bottom though. We'll do this.
That's just someone being punched.
And then try this out. Okay. Bam, I reached the bottom. You can read the bottom. That's kind of the point. The top is, yeah, that's, you can see the top there. You can, yeah. But it doesn't go all the way to the top. Cool. That is kind of what I wanted. So I might want to do 30 just to match that. But yeah, other than that, I am happy with this. So, okay, so we got this. Awesome. Now I gotta remember what is the thing that will hook you into the console stuff. Because even doing this, I want to have it so that it just shows console. There's the console commands, but then there's like the Unity console stuff. And I'm trying to remember, how do you hook into the Unity console stuff? There is a thing. So we're going to go in, and instead of doing this, I love how I already made a thing, and debug Unity console display. Yeah. Get rid of that. Oh, and by the way, the what is it? The dynamic text box thing that I made a couple of streams back. I made a couple of small adjustments. One was making it so that towards the end of the stream, I had that weird thing where for some reason I had to like refresh the Unity, like I had to turn on and off, or off and on, the game object in order for it to actually refresh properly, or like there was like a small delay if it did refresh properly. I figured that out. There was just an additional line of code that I needed to do, and then I went in and made it so that the script itself, when you drag the script on, it has like its own custom inspector. so that now it looks better and easier to follow. And you can properly be like, oh yes, this is the thing that is actually on. This is the thing that is not on, and stuff like that. So that was one of the things I liked, or I did off stream, and whatnot. And I've now also implemented this or that into multiple projects, and it is holding up, which is really good. So, okay, we got this thing here. We're gonna just work with we'll just work with the scroll view for now. And then I'll put this here. Unity display. Wait, before I do this, it should say background. Organize some of this stuff. Okay, and then go here. And then public text. Mesh Pro, and then I'll say something. I'll say console text, I guess. Console text void wake console text equals 0 equals this. I'm basically clearing the text. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, there is something, I think it's like debug dot console. No. I forget where it is. Let me go see. I think I have some note on this. Looking around. Sorry. Okay, so far not seeing anything. Hold up. Application log. Okay, there we go. Application message received and threaded. I don't know the difference between the two. And application log callback. Right, use this. What gets logged? Okay. Okay. Well, if that is the case, let me let me go and try and figure out what what is this application log? I should probably have the thing here. Log receive. Let's say log message received. Log message received. There we go. Okay. So, event that is fired if a log message is received. This event only triggers on the main thread. Use it if your handler requires accessing parts of the unit connected to the main thread, or for other reasons your handler can't or isn't thread safe. Gotcha. Where's it? I mean, it should be a, yeah, it was a delegate. Or not a delegate. I guess this is the delegate. Okay. Events that is when received, the event triggers regardless of whether it comes from the main thread or not. This means that the handler code has to be thread safe, right? on different threads in parallel other than the main thread. Not necessary to subscribe to both. Also be called for messages on the main right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what makes the most sense here in terms of, do I want threaded or non-threaded? I guess it's kind of trivial to switch between the two. So I'm gonna have it be trivial to switch between the two. I guess I don't need it to be going on in the background, only when it's only when it's enabled. Or no, I do need it going on in the background. So log message C plus equals. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. Cool. We'll use the main thread because it is technically safer. But technically it is. And then I just say console text plus equals. I guess, wait, let's do type or string condition. I'm going to do condition plus string. Oh. And stack trace. Stack trace plus plus log type plus and plus oh wait, I do log type type. Cool. And wait on destroy application log message received minus equals. Oh boy, minus equals application. There. Goodness sake, I am struggling typing today, I guess. All right, so we got that going. So save that. Oh, this exists for now. All right. So we go here, and we just drag this in here. Cool. And then the other thing we're going to do is just real quick. It's going to be, I'm just going to make a new folder here. This is purely for the example purposes. Debug console system. And then I'll just make a debug caller. I guess the debug input caller test, input test. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So basically what I'm going to do here is just void update if key input dot get key down. We'll do key code dot one alpha, yeah, that one. If you do that, then debug dot log pressed button if input dot get key down. I guess I should probably say, instead of press button, I'm going to just say info. And then key down, key code, alpha 2. I'm going to say debug.log warning. Warning. And then if input.get key down, key code dot alpha 3, debug.log, debug.log error. There we go. I think let's look at log. Isn't there? Yeah. Assertion, yeah. No, we're just gonna do these 3 for now. Oh, I wanted to also look at what these log types are. I don't know the list of log types. Log type dot. Okay, so it is just warning, log, error, or exception, error, and assert. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. All right, we're just gonna go through each. If input dot get key down, get key code, alpha 4, debug, log error, nope, not error, log assertion, am I, yeah, okay, and then if input, I am not as familiar with assertion and exception. Well, I'm very familiar with exception, but I normally don't throw the exception stuff here. System exception. Oh, I forget throw. Yeah, throw. Ooh. Hold on, application. It'll not log. Oh. Application log. I was like, what? There. Throw. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to do this. It's system dot not implemented exception. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Save there. Place that there. I think it's just there we go. What other? Yeah, we'll just do not implemented. Cool. Save. Okay. And now we're gonna see how this actually works. Is my original idea, does it even hold any water? I don't know. This is why we're testing it. No. Oh, right. There's a reason why it's a no, because I didn't drag the thing on here. Input. Test. There we go. Okay. There we go. I need to. Oops. Go here. And then do plus this. Actually, I want to do this twice, just so that there's separation between the things. So I think the goal here is, or the reason why I have these 5 and I wanted to get these 5 in, is because I want to change how it visually will look. Yeah, I wanted to change how it visually will look based off of whatever the thing is. So this, yeah, this is condition is info. Okay, that's the condition. Stack trace, debug log object. Okay, debug input update. Yep, cool. Sweet, that is right. And type is just a log. This is a warning. Cool, it's giving me a warning. This is an error. And you can see here it's giving me all the things, which is nice. And then we got assertion. It still gives me the same error thing here, but here now I'm seeing it there. And then exception. It's giving me still the same error thing, which is fine. It's kind of the point. Cool. So yeah, I got all of this stuff here, which is exactly what I want. It is being shown in the wrong order, or in the, not the wrong order, the wrong direction. I want this stuff to be down here. So when I go look here, oh, I know why. It's because this is at the top. I need this to flip, basically. Let me rethink how this works. So I want this to be, the pivot to be on 0. And then, yeah, as you are adding stuff, it gets up taller, it gets taller. So if I did this, yeah, it's almost there. Or I guess, no, it is there, because there's the exception, there's the log. There's the warning. There's the error. Yeah. Okay. So yes, that is working. Now I want this stuff to be useful to me. So I don't need to show the type because I can just change the color for the type. It would be kind of nice to have these icons here. Yeah. And like this just would work with the regular stuff. Yeah. Okay. The thing that I'm a little bit more concerned about is performance. The larger this is, the worse performant this will be. And yeah, that's part of the reason why, like, I want to try and figure that part out. If I did lower the thing, yeah, because yeah, I need to have it so that you can actually read the stuff. So if I did this, yeah, that's readable. 22. We'll do 22 rather than make it really big. Okay. Okay. We're gonna flip this over to be at 0. Should be there. Yeah. Content, yeah. Wait, where's, okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I love how I looked at these. I'm like, ah, crap, I have some errors. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is me doing this. Okay, so good. Let me think for a sec. Okay, thinking. the thing I'm thinking about is how do I want to display this stuff? Because yeah, I guess originally I was just thinking, yeah, just change the color. Well, the problem with doing that is if the error itself has like some type of color stuff that I want, I mean, I guess it wouldn't necessarily, yeah, it would necessarily be bad if I did that. But yeah, if I wanted to have the color stuff to be, or have the log assertion stuff to be like, oh, this is an error, this is whatever, this is an error, this color is for this color is for that, this is for that. I don't think that would be crazy to be able to do that kind of stuff. But I'm also trying to think, do I want to also have an icon for this to show you, hey, this is an error, hey, this is a problem? Then I can basically have it so that, oh yeah, if I had an icon, it would make it so that it's really obvious when there's a new thing stated. The one thing that I do like about Unity's console log is that I can have a bunch of these things in a row, and I can see them all, even though they all have more detail. So like you can click it and then you can have more detail. Although I guess in this case, you just see them all. There you go. You can see that there's some more detail. But I don't, or like if I could have it so that I can expand I can view it in like an expanded mode, a compact mode, or a minimal mode, or something like that, where it's like the expanded mode is just like it's doing what it's already doing, I guess, where it's like here's the stack, like here's the condition, here's the stack trace. This part is not going to show up, but yeah, so like I do that. Let's say that I do that, right? And then there's the compact mode, or I guess, sorry, I'm trying to think these things through. So okay, if I was like I want to have it so that I can see multiple, or there are multiple views in which you can see this console. And part of the reason why I am motivated to do that is because there's been times where I'm like, I want to see all of this information, or I'm like, I don't want to see all of this information. That's part of that's my motivation, is that I know personally I have dealt with this in the past. The three things that I'm proposing here is like an expanded view, a simplified view, and then a minimal view, where the expanded view is what it's doing right now, and it's showing you the condition, and it's showing you the stack trace, and it's like the full stack trace. And I would love to have it so that you can just like, or I would love to have that icon where you can see an icon next to the thing and be like, hey, this is an error, or hey, this is a warning, those kind of things. And then you can also, oh, if I did that, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So that would be one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I would want to have like this expanded view of this kind of stuff. Then I would like to also be able to contract the view, make it so that you can't see it, like everything at once. Or you can't see the full stack trace of everything. You can still see all of the logs and whatnot, but you don't need to see the full stack trace to see like, oh yeah, this has like based off of this input or this event system event, then this button was pressed, then this thing was pressed, which caused this thing to happen, which didn't, like all that stuff. Contracting that to look like how Unity does it, where if you look at like, yeah, Unity's thing, you can see, oh, it only just shows you the first like two things. Oh, and there's also the timestamp, which would be also nice to know while doing that. Yeah, really? If I just look at this, not bad. It's not a bad idea to like grab a lot of this info or a lot of this functionality and put it inside of a real-time thing. But anyway, but yeah, I can have those, or that would be a second view where it looks very much like Unity's console log stuff. This would be helpful for being able to track large or a large amount of events going off at once, rather than just being like, oh, okay, well now I have, you know, I have a huge like amount of information that I am now dealing with. That's, yeah. And then the other view would be the simplified view, or not the simplified view, the minimal view. There's, it's basically like a one-liner. You just see a one-liner saying like, hey, this script called a thing. This script had a thing, like where it says the condition. Here's the condition. Here's an error. It's just giving you, hey, there's an error. I believe this would be, is this closer to the developer mode or build thing? I forget. It's been a while since I used developer builds on for Unity. I don't particularly like them, because yeah, you just don't have as much control over the console log stuff than that I'd like. But at any rate, but yeah, having a simplified version where it's just like, this is an error, this is a thing, that would be kind of nice. Now, the things that I kind of got ahead of myself on is that this would also introduce something where I could be like, okay, I have all of this information. I can separate, or in order for me to pull this off, I would need to separate out each of these log statements as their own text object rather than one massive text object. This would this could solve some of that problem, or those things I was saying, like, yeah, the more text that you get, if you send 3,000 lines of text in a debug statement, geez, I don't know what's going on there, then I'd be like, oh man, yeah, you are hitting performance. I don't think that you're gonna really screw up your performance doing that in that particular case, but like, yeah, say that it was like 10,000 lines of code or whatever, that could be a problem. So separating them out so that isn't the case, that could also work, I guess, maybe. Yeah, but I don't know. That's one thing. But the other thing is that then I could filter stuff. So then I could do the things like this thing over here where I can be like, I don't want to see any errors. I just want to see the warnings. Or I don't want to see any warnings. This is a common thing that I see a lot, is a lot of people just turn off the warnings, which I just can't do. I'm just like, I gotta get rid of all these warnings. But like, yeah, so like any of those like warnings, I can filter out all those things to be like, only show errors, only show this kind of stuff. I think these three are good. I guess I've never tried to have a search or use the search thing inside of there. Interesting. But yeah, I've also done that before, so that's one thing. I don't think I would use any like error pause or anything like that. But I don't know. Log developer mode only. Yeah, okay. Oh, sure. All this stuff is going to be cleared anyway. So yeah, this is like the goal of all this stuff is to be able to visually see what is going on, but inside of a build rather than inside of or me having to like connect a profiler and all that other stuff, just so that I just have access to these things just quickly and whatnot. Sorry, I'm I feel like I am like thinking at a mile a minute and not really thinking all these things through extremely well, or I guess articulating all these things extremely well. But yeah, I think that would probably work. If I just go in there and be like, okay, here's the icon. Like I can choose 3 icons. There's info, there's warning, and there's error. I guess what I typically do. Then I get I give the space to the stack trace. Well, the timestamp, stack trace, and then condition, then stack trace. It would also be nice to be able to, like, at once, maybe not at once, but like to be able to be like, I want to show the timestamp, I want to show just the condition, I want to show like all that stuff. And I think that's where those like view drop down things that I'm been talking about, I think that's where that comes into play. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. And then after that, the main thing, the other thing to these things where I'm like highlighting the text there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's something that I'm still thinking about. I'm still thinking about like, how exactly all this stuff should be presented. I think for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to at least change the text color. Oh yeah, but do I want to? Because this is really clear and obvious that this is an error, this is an error, this is a warning. And it does not change the color here. Here, let me go in here. Warning color equals green. Test. Info. Test. Info. Text. Slash color. Because I believe rich text stuff works on both of these things. So we're just going to go in here and click the play button. Play button. This project's getting big enough where there's a lot of compilation stuff. Oh, sorry. Let me switch over to this. All right. They do this. Yeah. Green. And it is green. Yeah. There's the. Yeah. Okay. That's a little unfortunate that I can't. Here, let me. I'm trying to not select this so that you can see the green a little bit better. Do that. Cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's the green highlighted line. There's more green line. There you go. Cool. Yeah, because when you do that, okay. Yeah, you see the line here, and then you see, and then you okay. Yeah. And then if I did /n, I just want to see what multi-line looks like. I think that it crops stuff like that. That is the thing I need to go in and be like, oh, let me go fix that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I'm wondering. How exactly do I want to pull off some of this stuff? Because, like, yeah, do I like the fact that when you do the /n here, it breaks this up? That's fine. But do I like it that in the compact view, right, this would be compact view because whatnot. Do I like that? I don't know if I do. But I don't need to see this. Because this exists. But yeah, I do need to have that inside of there. So let's try and get the timestamps here. And how am I getting the timestamp here? Or how is the timestamp stuff like, whoops. I don't know why it always like minimize it to something so small. So yeah, how do I get the timestamp stuff here? I want to show, so I'm showing the actual time. Oh geez, I'm showing the actual time. Okay. So then let's do time. I don't know, I want date time. Date time equals now. Right? And then date time dot ooh. I forget. Well, yeah, I guess I do. I guess the thing that I'm starting to discover, and the reason why this is taking a little bit longer than it should, I think, is I'm starting to discover that I want a lot of this stuff to be like customizable and a lot more, like just to be able to like, yeah, say I want to see this in, 24-hour version, or I want to see this in 12-hour time, things like that. Just because like it would be nice to, like, by default, it would be nice to be able to see it in like current, 12-hour increments and have AM PM, just because it's easier for me personally to be able to parse that, like, oh, instead of like 16, it's 4 o'clock PM. Yeah, I like that better, but to be able to, like, yeah, have that as some type of toggle or some setting kind of thing, that would be kind of nice. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I'm now discovering, is that I kind of want to have a lot of customization here. I want to be able to do more stuff than I guess I originally thought. And like that's a larger deal, I guess, than I originally thought. Because yeah, originally I was just like, we'll just print a thing to the screen and be like, oh, cool. Because like, yeah, I got there. I'm doing that now. Awesome. But I want to have it so that it's useful, and it is useful for me. It is something that I can customize in real time. It is something that is like super beneficial for me, rather than, and like helps me long term, rather than just like, bare minimum. Okay, yeah. Because yeah, I think that maybe not like switching between like 24 to 12 hour type clocks is going to be the main big thing. But like, sorry, I feel like I feel like I'm a little bit scatterbrained here, but yeah, just like it's not going to be the most useful thing to be able to switch between those two types of things, but I think it would be helpful to be able to it'd be helpful to have that kind of thing, because there are times where it's really nice to just see bigger number means larger thing is going on in this order kind of thing. Yeah. Then I could even like all of these things that I'm doing in terms of like real-time stuff. I'm wondering if I get to a point where it's like, man, this is just so much better than the built-in thing. I doubt I'm gonna get to that point at like anytime soon, or if at all. But like if I put in a feature that I'm like, man, I wish that the like default Unity thing had, that would be kind of nice. Which I already know that there are like assets out there on the asset store that like improve on the or add more features and whatnot to the debug console stuff. But yeah, no, this is just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I think that this would be kind of nice to be able to have this. So I am I'm realizing I am rambling and really like thinking through all these things, not really doing a lot of coding at this point. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, for now, just get something out on the screen. Get something on the screen, which I've already done. I'm just going to make it so that it changes based off the color of whatever the log type is. So I'm going to do that. I might make it so that they are separate objects that I'm instantiating. The thing I'm worried about with that is that I then have I'm adding more. I guess the thing that I've been worried about is like I'm just adding more performance issues with the console if I have this as like as a solution. But I am willing to do that because I think that it will be useful. I can improve the performance later. I gotta remember that I can improve performance later. I can figure out what the performance problems are later, and whatnot. So I might do that. Yeah, and then based off of whatever the thing is, I just update the okay. We're gonna do that. So I'm just gonna now my goal is just work on this console display stuff. I guess that's probably going to change the title of this this VOD later. But my goal is get it so that I can print all this, like it prints the thing to the screen and whatnot. Cool. I make it so that it is formatted in a way that I can then expand upon this in the future. I think that will make the most sense. Yes. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go and do that. I am going to public game object. I guess message prefab. When the message is received. It would be nice if this is like grouped into a thing, but we're gonna just roll with it. Right. I before I do this, I am gonna do the date time thing. So I will mimic what the I really should probably do the whatever. I'll mimic what the I'm blanking on the Unity. There we go. The Unity console log is short date string. Short. Is there time? Yeah. Let's just do the short date stream or time stream. Yeah. Plus. Oops. There you go. Save this. Click that. We're just gonna look at that. Every time I look at this, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting all these errors. I need to figure out. I need to figure out what's wrong. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So yeah, now that's actually in. Cool. I want this to be in seconds. Where am I? I guess the long time stream. What's that look like? Because if this doesn't work, I do remember, or I do have an example of what the actual things should look like. Okay, so we're getting closer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is more or less kind of what I'm looking for, where it's like, oh, okay, here's the timestamp. Here's the date, or here's the time in which this was put. You can tell the difference between the times because there's the times. I don't need it to be incredibly, yeah. And I mean, yeah, it works here. I think this works fine. Just to have the PM, AM, whatnot. Then I know when this got pressed, and then I could be like, oh, it's got pressed again, and yeah, it's a different time and whatnot. Okay, we're just gonna mirror. We're gonna mirror the Unity console for now. I will think about format and whatnot. That is a thing that is easily changeable in the future. But yeah, we're gonna just do this, and then now I'm going to make the. I'm gonna make the object, the game object. So here, I'm gonna just delete this. Do I want to just delete this? Yes, I do. I'm gonna go here, click this, and call this a message. Debug message. Debug message. Cool. This is gonna be. I guess ultimately it's gonna be side to side, but we're gonna go in here, click this, and then do layout. This. We're gonna do that. All right. Also, it is not putting this in the right spot. Lower right. This is a test. I want this to be layout, content, header, preferred. Right, there we go. The bottom, there we go. Okay, I want this to be the full width, but I can figure that part out later. There we go. This is a test. This is only a test. There we go. All right. Okay. I want this text to be 22. Cool. And then the other thing that I want to do is go in here, click insert image, drag the image over here, and then change this element preferred is I guess 2020. I don't know. There we go. Okay. This much bigger. We'll do 100. Okay, maybe not that big. Hold on. 50. 50. Yeah. Add some spacing here. 20. 10. There we go. We're just gonna. Oops. I'm gonna do this. There. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little worried about performance. That's all I gotta say, but we roll with it for now. We'll figure out performance later. So this is, yeah, upper right. I should have, that's part of the notifications thing, right? Yeah, I got this warning. Maybe for the early aspect. Warning, error, info. Right. So I already have some of this stuff. But for now, I do this. And then the last thing I do here is do this. Get layout. Whoops. Layout. Element. None. I just go like this. Go. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do a similar thing here. Do this. There we go. Drag this to the back. This is gonna be the icon. This is the message. And this is the background. Okay. Have this. Just for now, do that. Okay. Then I want to put in some padding around this. Left over here. 20. Yeah. Top. It's 10. Bottom 10. And right 20. Okay. Then maybe add some more spacing. 20. Okay. I'm gonna delete these and then duplicate. Okay, yeah. I could have it so that like this color. So okay, hold on. I'm gonna change this up. how I do this. I'm going to make this, whoop, but I'm going to make this 0.25, or I guess 0.2 for color. Then if I change the color to be whatever, like here's a warning, then yeah, then it'll change the color to subtly change rather than I have to go in and change the color like that. Does not need, well, I mean, that's one of the other things is that, like, do I want to have this be an interactable thing or not? So yeah, that's, you know, these are things I am thinking about. I don't know if there's an easy way for me to just say, I only want to show 2 lines of text. Yeah, I don't know if there's an easy way for me to be able to do that. Okay, but yeah, we got this in here. I think that it probably could be a little bit more compressed. Yeah, we can just say 10. Okay. Cool. Oh, also, I guess it should also say a time. So I guess in this case, it'll be 4 o'clock. Yeah. I'll say something like that. For now. For now. Yeah. And that makes it very clear and obvious. Oh, this is the error that I'm getting. Or this is the type of error that I'm getting. I'm getting a warning. I'm getting an info. Yeah. Okay. I feel comfortable with this. I am. Now it's time to. It's time to make this an actual thing. Okay. So. Debug. Message display. Oh man, that's a terrible name. That's a terrible name. We're just gonna, oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, I hate it so much. But hey, it, I guess, works for now. Public. The question is, do I want to have all of this information? No, I don't think that I want to have all this information on the prefab itself. I just want to pass in all of this information in, and then it'll be like, oh, here's the icon, here's the whatever kind of situation, rather than have it so that, or I guess the thing I'm debating is, do I have all of this information, like the icon that it's supposed to have because it's a warning, this is the warning color, this is the, like, do I want to have all of that information on here, or do I want to have that all that information on here, and I think I want it all here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have that all here. That way it'll be flexible in the future, where if I was to be like, oh, I want to have a specific, like my own thing or something like that, I don't know, where it's like green, it's good or something, then I can just pass that information in rather than I have to go in and bake it inside of here. Yeah. And there's one spot that changes all this stuff. Yeah, I feel better about doing that. So the only thing that this thing needs to do is I need to get the image. Nope. Image. Oh boy. Image. There we go. And then I want the icon. Public image background, public text, mesh pro GUI message, public void setup message. I think what I need is debug console message, like have this be a whole thing. Yeah, like be a struct or a class. I'm gonna do that. Public class debug message. Public string condition, public string stack trace, public string, or no, not string, public log type, log type, public color. Do I? Yeah, I guess. Color, message, color. Okay, public, debug message, string condition. Oh. And text. Type. Color. Target color. Oh. There you go. Okay. So, oh, and then I also want a public date time, I guess. Timestamp. I still couldn't remember the name. Timestamp. Okay. So debug message, new message equals target so we, oh, right. Time stamp equals time. There. This is 8 time now. Condition, backtrace, type, and then the color. I need to get the color. Public color, info color, public color, warning, color, public color, error, color. Private color, get color from log type. Log type. Target type. I type. Jeez. Switch. Target type. Okay, so log is just return info color. Warning. Okay, yeah, I also get rid of these breaks. Return warning color. Okay. And then these. Return error color. By default, we'll just do the info because we have no idea why something screwed up. Cool. Get color type. Cool. Okay. So we received a thing. All right. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to this. Public debug message is I'm realizing a thing inside of here. Oh, I thought, oh, I did not. Debug message. Set a message. It just takes in a message. Target message. Message equals target message. What? Why? Oh, whoops. Message and text. There. Icon equals sprite. Wait. Right. I don't have the sprite information. Public sprite icon. Nope. Icon. Log type. Target type. Switch. Target type. We're gonna just copy this here. We're just gonna public sprite icon or info icon public sprite warning icon public sprite error icon. We're gonna put a header icons. We're gonna put a header. Boy. Colors. And then we're gonna say these things instead. Okay, and then we say get color, oh, get spray icon from type. Right. Oh, what I'm gonna do instead here is say instantiate message prefab. Oh, I need. We'll get rid of this. I love how I still feel weird about this not just being not just being text. Publics transform. I guess message list. Game object. New message. Message object. Public list message. Oh no, game object, I guess. Message is equals new list. There we go. Component. Debug console. Message display. Setup. Message. New message. Message is dot add new message object. I guess this would be a lot better if this was a list of these things or these things rather than, because then I can get this access to this and be like, oh, I'll just filter out the things. But for now, we're gonna just roll with it. Okay. Okay, so we did that. Now we're gonna go in here and now we're gonna change this target icon. Ooh boy. Message dot icon. Background dot color equals message dot color. Oh, icon should be dot sprite. Whoops. Oops. And then we got the message itself. So message text dot text equals message dot condition plus slash nine new line plus message dot stack trace. Oh, I guess, and the timestamp. Whoops. This. I should just, yeah, it's already too late. Message dot timestamp dot to long time string plus this slash n, or not slash n, this plus condition. Yes, there we go. Okay, I think that does it. This can, well, I guess I'll just move this over. Yeah, I think that does it. Got the timestamp, got the thing, got that. The log type, that really is only, well, that's currently only useful for this stuff here. And then the message, yeah, okay. Okay, so we got this. Oh, I want to change the font. the other thing that I want to also do is change the font so that it's or my default font is one that I can use in a professional setting rather than just personal. But that is, nope, wait, these are all, yeah, these are not the right fonts. What? Where's the main menu font? Nope, doesn't exist. What? Hmm? What? Hold up. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to switch to the dynamic text box. There we go. See, it actually updated without me having to redo things. Anyway, okay. Oh, it's just inside of the. Oh boy. Oh boy. You okay? Really, really doing well here. All right. Go here. Dig all the way. There we go. And then we just change. Oh, did I grab the wrong thing? Nope, not that one. Nope. None of these are the ones that I want. Yeah, this is the free for personal use one. Well, unfortunate, I guess. We're just gonna use the Liberation for now, and then I'll search around later because I have a bunch of fonts that I can look at. And I have access to that I can use to actually do this. But yeah. Well, wait, what is the? Now I'm gonna go look. What's the rebind control stuff? Not rumble, rebind. No, don't say that. I'm just gonna look here real quick. Is this the? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Also, what? Okay, whatever. We'll do this. I need to actually not use this because it's just for personal use. I gotta get the correct licensing, but it does look good, which is the problem. That it looked good. Okay. I will figure this stuff out later. Good enough for now. Not needed a drop shadow. We're gonna go and we're gonna go here, do this, yep. Background, icon, message. We're gonna change this instead of saying, we're just gonna go here. We're gonna, by default, let's just have the info just to see what it looks like. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, and to not there or there, but here. Prefabs. And then we go. Oh, not folders. Scripts. Okay, so we grab these, drag it in here. I'm gonna get the thing pop up. Yep. And it's gonna be like, what happened to all these? Yeah, they're all gone. Except for that. And then I'm gonna go drag in this debug message. Bam. Cool. I'm gonna open that up. And then I'm gonna open up this. Ooh, that's not good. I want to change this. So color white. Color is orange. Nope. Then it's yellow. Equals color dot red. There. But I'll go in and change this up. Actually, I guess I'm gonna reset, and there you go. I do want to change the colors to be the actual icons though. So I'm gonna do that. So that's fine, but I want this to be that color. And then I want this to be that color. I don't know if it's full. Yeah, it's not full red, which is ideal. All right, so I've done that. We get rid of this. Oh yeah, then just dragging these icons. Icon. There's error, and then there's a warning. Okay. That's all that. Messages. Oh, I should probably make that private. This is the list, and here is the prefab. I'm gonna go and make this private. I should make all those other things private as well, just serialized. All right. Okay. So now I press this. There we go. I forgot that I put in that new line, but hey, then I go with this. I was like, oh, that's a warning. I do this, and that's an error. This is an assertion, and this is an exception. Ow, that hurt. But yeah, I'm looking at this and I can tell exactly what is going on. This would be the not compressed version. This is the I guess standard or the expanded view. I guess is what you would call that. But yeah, no, this is looking decent. I would love to be able to pull off the same things that Unity does here, where it's like I can highlight the fact that this is the thing that is being called. Whoops, wrong thing here. Also I can close this. I don't know why it's, well, I know why it's open. It's just, yeah, it's just a string. That's the issue. It's not all that. What is application log message? I don't know. Log callback. Yeah, no, that's no. Yeah. Console log. Okay. Register log. Okay, yeah, those are deprecated. Okay. That stack trace type log. Script only. What? Stack trace log type. Oh boy. Oh, come on. Stack trace log type. Log. Only manage stack output log. Okay. Okay. Just curious what those things are. But yeah, okay. Well, every time I look at it, well, it seems like I've gotten to the point where it's doing the thing that I want. Right, I gotta do the thing. But yeah, it's adding in those things. It's giving me a timestamp and it's giving me the errors, which is good. And what this will ultimately look like is something like up here. Ooh, that's a problem. I gotta do one of these. There we go. Click play. We're gonna just do. There we go. But I'm gonna go grab this. This should be up here. So yeah, it'll be something like this that you would be able to see all this stuff, and then you can expand it to be the full screen if you need be. That's also another thing is like when it's like that, I don't need it to be that big. Whatever. Anyway. Cool. I might still want to make this a little bit smaller, but I also want to make it so that oh, and this is where we're gonna have some issues. Is that I also want to have it so that I can change the size of the screen, or not size of the screen, size of the text, but because they're all separate, it's harder to do that. I'd have to go through each one and be like, hey, set your size to be this, rather than I just change it once and it changes everywhere. Oh, I need a before I do all this stuff, I go here, I make this its own thing, ignore, and then just do this, but do this. There. And that will allow me to scroll without having to be on top of one of the elements. Cool. Right, and this goes up here. Cool. Yeah, that makes that work. If I go here, and I change the text. Okay, maybe not that small. What if I did 18? Yeah, I think 18 is probably better so I can see more stuff. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now we're not seeing, or the errors are existing there. Now I'm wondering whether or not I want to have it so that things. Anyway, I'm gonna go in here and then actually change it to be 18 rather than 22. All right. Ray cast target. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think this is good progress. There was a lot of me talking a lot of me trying to figure out what exactly I wanted. Like I said, this was very impromptu, so I didn't actually have like a plan. Typically I have a plan and an idea of what I want to try and do, or I have a vague idea of what I want to try and do. So I have a direction and a whatnot, but I did not have that this time, if that was not obvious. So it was a lot of me trying to parse what exactly I wanted out of the system. I guess for now, I'll do the whole recap thing that I typically do here, which is, as you can see, well, again, this was a impromptu stream, something that I really was not planning on doing, but the thing that I did end up doing is working on this debug console stuff, where this is going to be, or the point of this is to have it so that it is in real time, in a build, have all this information available to me, be able to type in cheats, be able to see the output for the console and stuff in a build and whatnot. So ultimately, this thing that I'm making is a thing you can toggle on and off to see. But yeah, so this is more or less the stuff that I was doing here. So as you can see here, I have all of it registered all the like information that you just get from a debug and whatnot. I really should probably get rid of that new line, because that just really bothers me. But yeah, it registers all that information and stuff, and then prints it to the screen. I have it so that it has a timestamp, all the like the different types have different colors and icons associated with them, and hopefully it as evidenced here, you can tell, oh, this is clearly a error, or this is clearly a log, and whatnot. And you can just add in more stuff and things like that, which is nice, where you can point out at a quick glance to be like, there's the warning. I can see the warning. And then in the future, I want to have it so that I can filter these things out. So I only see warnings. I only see errors. I only see, all that stuff, or I get rid of whatever. But yeah, that's one of the other things, of the benefits of trying to like separate all this stuff. So all of that, I'm largely a lot of the functionality that Unity has out of the box for the console stuff, I want to be able to replicate inside of this, with the goal being like, all of this stuff will then be available in real time, doing this stuff, which is cool. But I think that does it. That's about all I had here. It was just me trying to, I was planning on working on doing all this stuff. So, and I felt like, I really need to get back in the saddle of just like regularly streaming, rather than streaming when like all the conditions align and is perfect and whatnot. So that's kind of the part of the reason why I wanted to show up now. But yeah, that's me doing this stuff. Hopefully we'll see. I think I might stream later tomorrow, maybe. You know what? No, I'm gonna put down and say that I am gonna stream tomorrow, and it's going to be the rebinding stuff. I'm gonna work on that because I'm really motivated to work on that stuff. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But I guess until next time, I'll call it there. Let's see if nope, not gonna say it, because I say it every time. I do remember how to end these things. But thanks everybody for watching and hanging out, and I'll see y'all later.